Hi everyone, my name is Amy and today I'm here to share with you some myofascial release techniques that we can use to alleviate some of the tension and tightness in the upper body. So we're going to start today with just using this myofascial release ball by Rad, and it's really the only tool that you need in order to do the 3 myofascial release techniques that I'm going to show you. You can have a blanket or a bolster or a yoga block on hand if you'd like, but we should be able to accomplish everything that we're going to do with just this ball. So we're going to start with the pecs, and we're going to start on the right side. So just take your peace fingers and place them right on your clavicle, your collarbone. And all we're going to do here is just drop down maybe an inch off the clavicle and maybe an inch in from the armpit. And this is where we're going to place the ball once we lay down on our bellies. So let's go ahead and get started. Just lying flat down on your belly here. And just place that ball now again right in that spot that I just pointed out. So since we're on the right side, we're going to turn our head to the left and bring our arms to a goalpost shape. And then just lie the side of the head down on the mat. Now, if you're not feeling a whole lot here, you could prop this ball up on a blanket, a pillow, or a yoga block, and that should make it get in just a little bit deeper for you if that's what you need. But you can also just stay right here if you're already getting a little bit of feedback. And let's first just settle in. I'm just starting to notice how the ball feels. And seeing if we can relax into it. And focusing on the breath. We're going to take about 10 breaths here. And as we're just sinking into this and letting the tissues adapt to being on the ball, if you'd like a little bit more, you could lift that right arm up, just hovering it up off the mat. And then as you inhale, maybe stretch your fingertips forward. And as you exhale, bring the elbow back. And back and forth, and just a few times. Release the right arm back down towards the mat. Just a few more breaths. And then come on up and release the ball and just lay down for a moment and notice if there's any change. For most of us, we'll notice that right side just relaxing a little bit closer to the ground than the left. All right, and now we'll get to that second location. So for the second location today, we're going to be targeting the infraspinatus and the teres minor. So these are the muscles that line the back side of the scapula, and this one is probably one of my favorite and probably the one that's a little bit, probably the most intense for me. So if you want to, again, you could place a blanket over the ball and that would make it just a little bit less intense for you. So what we're going to target here, I'll show you on the left side, is right about there. So once we lie down on the floor, I'll show you how to get to that area just a little bit easier, but we're targeting right here, the back side of the scapula. And so let's start with laying down on our left side. You're just going to lie comfortably on your side here, and you can rest your head in your hand if you like. And then to find that spot, take the ball into the right hand and then lean back and kind of just slide the ball underneath there. And I know for me right away, I got the spot right away, so I'm feeling this already. Again, if it's too intense, just kind of move around until you find a spot that you can stay with. relax into this. And so the right arm can do anything at all. It can rest on your right hip. If you would prefer to rest your head down on the ground, go ahead, but for me that's a little bit too far away, so I'm just going to go ahead and rest my head in my hand. And especially for these areas that feel really, really tight, it's important to breathe really deeply and effortlessly. So breathing deeply in through the nose and letting the breath out. And again, just noticing the tissues adapting to the shape of the ball. And if you feel okay here and just want to change the sensation level, maybe lean back just a little bit. For me, that's all I need. You might need to lean back just a little bit more. So these are the muscles that are responsible for external rotation in the arm. And they're usually pretty tender. How about just 2 more breaths? Good. And then slowly come on off. Reach for the ball. And we're going to lie down onto our backs. And just take a moment to again observe. Notice any change between the sides. And then come on up. And the final place that we're going to do today is just getting into kind of the upper traps here. So we'll take the ball and it's going to end up right about here. You're just going to find an area that feels good for you once you lie down on your back. So just lift the head, neck, and shoulders up off the ground. Place the ball there on the upper trap. So we kind of want it more in a diagonal area, diagonally of the upper inner border of the scapula there. And then bring the arms out to a goalpost shape. So a really common area of tightness and tension for many of us here. Let's see if you can relax into it. So I like doing this one side at a time so that you can really sense the change that's being made in the body. When we come off of the ball, you're going to notice, you should notice something really interesting. And now for this one, if you'd like to, you can crisscross the arms over the chest. And for this one, I'm taking right now left arm under right and just holding on to my shoulders and gently pulling the shoulders down. That's just one option. Good. Release the arms back out to the sides. And if you want a little bit more, remember less is always more, but if you do want a little bit more, press your feet into the mat and then lift your hips up. And here's a good time to grab hold of that blanket if you have one, or yoga block or pillow, and slide it under your sacrum. Or you can just hover in the air if you'd like. A little bit of balance between effort and ease here. Good. And release. Reach back, grab hold of the ball, and just come to lying down on your back and take a moment to observe. And let's go ahead and come on up. So thank you so much for watching.